Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiranand. We have with us Mr. Hiranand Savlani, CFO at Astral Limited, joining in. Welcome to the show, Mr. Savlani, and a pleasure to speak to you. Firstly, my question coming to you is in terms of the quarter, the numbers seem to be pretty good. Has the quarter met your internal expectations?
I think quarter was good, but this quarter is contributing hardly 18 to 20% of the full year volume. So I think the coming quarter will be much better than what we have seen in the Q1. Of course, if you see the industry per se, we have done excellent because we were having the highest volume growth in the Q1 compared to anyone. I can say the listed players have published the number, but still it was a low quarter. So we are expecting much better number in the coming quarter.
Right. So taking this comment into consideration, if you could just help us understand in terms of the different segments of business, which are the ones that have contributed to the growth this time around?
I think all the segments have contributed excellent except agriculture pipe. Was weak. Otherwise, you see plumbing, whether you see drainage, sewage, rain harvesting, every segment has contributed excellent in the Q1. So overall, the performance from across the board was that it was not restricted to only one segment. Only the little bit setback was from the agriculture side of the pipe. Otherwise, I think all the segment has performed very well.
Right. And going ahead, where are you expecting higher traction to get to higher growth?
So I think we are expecting all the segments should do well. Whether it is the plumbing, if you see the numbers of units sold by every developer which is published, whether it is Godrej, whether it's the Shobha or any good developer, everyone is talking about the good numbers of sales. So that indicates that with some lag, we will be getting the demand from that segment. So if you ask me, I am bullish on all the segments, whether it is a housing, whether it is a commercial side, whether it is the, you can say, industrial side, whether you consider the infrastructure side. Across the board, we are expecting that the number should be better only. Because if you see the construction activity was slow, so because of that, the ready units have sold out in the system. So ultimately, the new construction has to happen to match the India's demand. Temporary, maybe one quarter here and there will be that, but otherwise, with the lag, we are quite confident that the number should be moving across the all segment in which we are there, and particularly from the new product segment in which we have taken a late entry, so our base is very low. So on that side, we are expecting the number should be a surprise to all of us.
Right. And overall, from here on, what has been the capacity utilization so far?
So the capacity utilization is very low because of the low quarter. So it was almost 50% kind of utilization. So enough capacity available. So I don't think capacity will be the constraint to Astral's growth. But now from the every quarter, because historically you see the numbers of last 13-14 years, which is already there in the public domain. Q1 is the lowest, Q2 is better than Q1, Q3 is better than Q2, and Q4 is big. So now from sequentially, you will see the higher volume number and accordingly higher capacity utilization. And that is going to help us in the economy of scale, and that us to improve our margins also.
Right. And overall, from here on, in terms of margins as well, if we see FY21, we had a margin of around 22.3%. The first quarter of this year has been way better than what the first quarter last year was. So what's that sustainable number we are working on the margin front?
So like earlier, we used to say 14-15% kind of sustainable margin. Now, 5-6 quarter, we are seeing that the trajectory is moving toward the higher direction. So we are now telling 16 to 18% kind of margin should be a sustainable kind of margin. And today polymer is behaving in the market. And we were expecting that the polymer should drop sizably because the commodity cycles are like that. But in last quarter, it dropped by 15%. And again, in this quarter, it has started inching up very fast. So almost 6-7% price rise has already taken place in first 6 weeks. So we are expecting that this scenario is not going to be sorted out at the international level. A lot of short supply there in the country, plus a lot of challenges are going up to the shipping line side. All these things are suggesting that the polymer prices will not go down quickly. And if that is the case, we are quite confident that the margin will be higher only.
Right. And in case the steep rise continues, what we've seen in the last 1 year, what is the kind of impact we are seeing in terms of industry and Astral?
Industry per se, little bit sacrifice of volume will be there because some product will become costly. But in the same, something like Astral will be, on the contrary, will be more beneficial because ultimately all the unorganized players are going to suffer a lot. Because you see pre-COVID level, the polymer price was 65, 70 rupees. Today it is quoting in 125, 130 level. So almost you can say 90 to 100% kind of price rise is there. So if that is the kind of steep price rise, then you need a double working capital also.
Correct.
Yes, smaller players has a big challenge to bring the double working capital on the card. So because of that, they have to sacrifice. Somehow, some player will be able to manage that kind of working capital. So that in that case, they can't grow. So they can't allocate the money for the capex. So in that case, I think the companies which are having a strong balance sheet, strong cash flow, I think they will be taking the biggest advantage, and which you can see in our numbers also.
Correct.
We were degrowing while we were growing at a distance. So that clearly indicating that organized players are getting the advantage and they are taking the market share of the unorganized. Not only unorganized, I'm telling you, even the organized players which don't have a strong balance sheet, they are also losing the market share. And that is also going to be with the player who are having the strong balance sheet and cash flow. So we are very, very happy that if this scenario will continue for the higher price of polymer for another 6 to 12 months, there will be a sizable shift going to take place in the industry per se, and will be the biggest beneficiary out of that.
Right. And because of COVID, majority of the companies actually learned how to do cost saving. And that's something which has been a positive, which is expected to continue. How about our company? What are the cost saving initiatives that we've taken? And is that sustainable?
Definitely, you are right that every company has learned the new ways of doing the business. The same thing with our company also, that we have also learned the work from home culture and work from office culture. Earlier, we used to travel frequently for a small meetings also. But now, even both the side, even the party with whom we want to meet, they are also preparing to have a Zoom call or maybe team call. So that culture is getting developed across, and that is good for the industry per se and good for the company also. So I'm sure this is going to help us to save a lot money into the cost side. So inside, a lot of saving will be there. Administrative cost controls are being put in the card. Further, I'm telling you, the bigger chunk of cost control will be there once we are going to merge the two companies, because we already done the announcement of merger of our adhesive business with our pipe business. So Reginova and Astral pipe both are going to get merged. I think of synergy will be there for the cost reduction. So we are going to save a lot of money into the one. We will be combining two company and merging two company, because many activities are common, which is being separated from as a team. But now once it will be combined, we will be saving a lot of money into that.
Right. So when you're talking of the merger as well, what will be the impact? What are the major synergies that we are looking at when we talk about Resinova and Astral?
I think if you see the Reginova network, they are having close to about 130,000 dealers with them. I think close to about 33,000 dealers are with Astral. But the difference between the two companies that the Reginova is more focused on the rural area, while Astral is more focused on the urban side of the country. So with this merger, I'm sure both sides of Astral is going to be stronger. Today, what happened that the many of our distributors which are interested in Reginova product, we are not able to sell them because of the two separate group of companies. But once it will be combined, I'm sure the biggest beneficiary will be the adhesive division, because they are to the urban market. And Astral is very strong dealers and distributor network into the urban side. So that is going to be a big advantage of cross-selling synergy, I think is going to emerge out. Besides, I think cross-selling synergy, I think branding is the key area which is going to be beneficiary to our adhesive business. The Astral Pipe is already spending sizable money into the branding activity. Now, with the merger of two companies, I think the adhesive division can take advantage of brand Astral, and they can multiply their business in the coming time. So we are of the view that with this merger, cross-selling and the branding, these are the two areas which are going to help in a big way to the adhesive business. Similarly, pipe will also going to get benefit out of that, but the biggest beneficiary will be our adhesive business.
Right. And when we're talking of company specific right now, we're winding up APL Kenya as well. What's the kind of timeline and any impact do we see on business?
I think we have already wound up paperwork
Okay.
going on. It will take some time because any government clearance and all will take a few quarters. But as far as the business operation is there, so I think it is done. So now from here on, there will not be any losses from that subsidiary. So that is being clear. But we are working with the bankers also over there because one of the bank which is bankrupt over there. So there we have to take the clearance of that bank to sell our building. Machinery, stock, everything we have sold out 100%. Everything is sold out. Only the left out is the one building and the one land parcel is there with the company. Once it will be sorted out, we will be coming out. So no further losses will be there from that subsidiary, but closure will take some more.
Okay. And overall, with regards to your value-added products as well, valve, the CPVC aluminium, CPV water tank, etc. How are these value-added products performing?
I think because the base is very, very low, so they are performing excellent in terms of percentage growth.
Correct.
That's not the right way to look at the only percentage way growth. But overall, also we are seeing that each product contribution is growing every quarter on quarter. While though our new plant is still not ready, will be targeted to be completed by September end. But we already started producing that wall in our existing plant because we were having the machines with us, molds with us. So we already started. So that has started contributing good to us. Water tank is doing fantastic. I can say the initial response is very well. So we already communicated that in the month of July, we already crossed the 4 crore mark monthly run rate. So we are expecting that that business is also going to do well because we started with Aurangabad, then we entered into Gujarat market. We started production from Santej plant. Then we started last month onward from our Dhilod plant in Rajasthan. Now we are doing the construction activity at our Hosur plant. So our 4th location will be added. And then ultimately by year end, we are targeting that our 5th location in Bhubaneswar will be added. So all this with 5 locations, we are expecting that the number should be excellent. And the real number you will see in the next year because this year phased manner we are starting. So because of that number on a full year may not be that great. But I'm sure once this all the plant will be operational, all the geographies we are going to open up at the pan India level, then the next full year will be available with full capacity. So we are expecting good number in the next year. This year also will be good number only, but because the partial utilization of capacity will be there, so because of that may not be that great, but next year definitely it should be better.
Right. And additionally, the government of India has also made compulsory the BIS certificate for agri and plumbing. What will be the impact of the same on the business?
I think this will be the game changer for the plastic industry per se. Because today you see all the unorganized players who are working into whether it is an agriculture pipe or whether it is a plumbing pipe, all being below standard. And that is how they can compete with the organized player or a brand like Astral. Otherwise, they will not be in a position to fight with us because our economy of scale and our purchasing power will be much, much stronger than the unorganized player. But because they are doing the shortcut route in the quality of the product, and that is how they are survived. Now, with this BIS standard, they have to be a quality player as good as what we are. Little bit, maybe 2-3% here and there can be there because even BIS standard also they are defining certain range. So there slightly they may be poor than us, but otherwise they have to be a level playing field. Now, if that is the case, their costing will be much, much higher than what is the costing of Astral today. So we are of the view that once this standard will be implemented, it is going to be a game changer. Many, many unorganized players will be wiped out from the system. Or even if they are not going to be wiped out, their margin will become narrow, which will force them to go out from the industry. So we are expecting that once this will be implemented, we will be in a much, much better position. Agriculture pipe government has already given the deadline of 30th September. So it is not far away. The standard, it is already in wide circulation and they are inviting the comments and all these things. So hopefully in next 12 months time, that will also be the reality. If that is going to be there, I'm telling you, pipe industry and particularly the organized players are going to be big way beneficiary. Forget about unorganized.
Correct.
Many organized players today, I should not give the name, are not following the standard because it's compulsory. So because of that, they are also applying the shortcut route. So many organized players which are applying the shortcut today and they are taking the market share, they will also lose the market share. So it is going to be a good benefit to a company like Astral and the organized player per se with this change of this BIS standard. So we are expecting a good from this change.
Right. And overall, in terms of geographies, where are you seeing higher traction in domestic as well as on the export front?
I think export element is very low for our industry, particularly for Astral, I can say. Hardly any contribution of export is there in our total. So we are expecting too much of growth in export, but yes, definitely year on year, we are trying to improve into that also. But as far as the domestic business is concerned, I think across the geography, attraction is good. But if you consider the last quarter, then I think except South, I think overall the performance of all the three geographies were good. And now I think slowly and gradually the cases are coming down in the southern market also. So hopefully Q2 should be contributing better in across the geography. South again will be low in the month of July and August, but from September onward, we are expecting the South to contribute well. If that is the case, I think our number will be much better than what you have seen in the Q. So that is how we are dividing our business.
Right. And overall, you've mentioned earlier as well that the pipes and the adhesive business is expected to double in the next 5 years. So are we well equipped in terms of capacity to get this kind of business in, number one? And if no, are we looking to spend further at expansion?
So like we are ready with the capacity, so we don't see any problem in doubling the size of our business. Sizable capacity is ready and few capacities are already in pipeline. Like our East plant will be ready by, I think, November. And that will be of a 60,000 metric ton plant. 20,000 will be first phase, second and third phase, each will be 2020. So building will be ready for 60,000 metric ton. But our machinery installation will be in the phase manner because we don't want to do a one-go capex. That's why we will be making it into 3 parts. So that 60,000 additional will be available. Plus, we are adding the small capacity at our Gujarat plant, our Hosur plant, our Sangli plant, our Aurangabad plant. All the locations, some capacity addition is going to take place. So with that, I don't think doubling the revenue will be a big challenge to Astral. Today also our utilization is hardly 55-60% on a yearly basis. So we have enough capacity available with us. And if required further, we don't see any problem of cash flow to our company to increase further with a shorter notice. So we are quite confident that the capacity will not be a constraint to doubling our revenue. Similarly, in the adhesive side of the business also, today also you see the adhesive utilization is hardly 40%. So we have enough capacity available into the adhesive side also. And that will take the adhesive business also to more than double in next 5 years time. So this year alone, we are expecting that we are working hard to see that we can touch our 1,000 crore run rate of adhesive business in the current year alone.
Right. And apart from that, we have been open to opportunities with regards to greenfield projects. Anything in the pipeline in the next 12 months?
I think our management is always open for the greenfield as well as acquisition opportunity. So we always keep evaluating all this option. And at that time, at appropriate, if the board feel that it is good in the interest of the shareholder, we will add that into our portfolio. So we are working on both the direction, and whatever will be good in the interest of shareholder, we will take the decision. But we keep continuously evaluating the new vertical, new products, acquisition opportunity. All sides we keep our eyes open. Whenever the right opportunity will be there, we will do that part also.
Right. And are we expecting the revenue mix to change between adhesives and pipes? Because we're still at 76% in pipes, 24% in adhesives. Are we planning to increase adhesives business?
Yeah, in the coming time, I think adhesive being a lower base, so it should be doing better in the coming time. So definitely the mix will change with the time. So every year, some improvement you will see toward the adhesive side of the business.
Right. And in terms of pipes and adhesives, what's the kind of market share we hold right now? And when we say that we're looking for the business to double in the next 5 years, by how much will we be able to pull in terms of market share?
I think you rightly pointed out this question. If you see the market share, we are hardly any market share.
Correct.
In pipe, we are having still 6% market share. And adhesive, we are having hardly 4% market share. We have already published this data in our
Correct.
And what we have published last time. So we have enough opportunity, enough I can say. We have still, I can say, just scratched the surface. That kind of opportunity India can give us as well as our unit can give us. Because 6% is nothing. So even if we can improve a 1 or 2% market share, and plus there will be a natural growth of the industry. Normally, piping industry grow 1.5 times in the GDP rate. So now if the GDP we are expecting next 5 to 7 years time, maybe 6 to 7% kind of growth, then the 10% will be the industry growth. Okay. Again, Astral. So 10% industry growth will be there. Then the 4-5% will be the, you can say the inflationary growth. So 15% is the done deal. I don't see any problem into that. Even you multiply that mathematics also, then doubling the revenue in 5 years should not be the challenge. I'm not counting the other opportunity of the new vertical which we are going to add, the new products which we are going to add, any acquisition opportunity may come to our table. I don't counting that. If that is the case, then growth can be even better than that. So I think any sizable market share we have still gained in the market. So adhesive hardly 4% is there, and the base is also very low. So if you consider 4%, then it is nothing. So correct. Expecting that business should also grow at a faster pace, and the kind of new product continuously we are going to launch into that category also. Then the synergy of two businesses, which is
getting clubbed.
Merger, that is going to open up the more doors for the growth. So I think doubling the revenue in next 5 years should not be a big challenge to Astral.
Absolutely. It looks like a strong journey that we're going to see from here on as well. Congratulations for the new milestones as well, Mr. Hiranand. A pleasure to speak to you. Thank you for sharing all the insights as well. So congratulations once again. Good luck and stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.